Hi everyone. How are you guys doing today? Tired? You have only 2 more days and then you'll be free. So today's our last lecture. Tomorrow you'll have your last PLTL and then your final lesson will be Thursday. In class, yeah, during the class time. No special place here. Did you guys, are you guys done with all the homework and quizzes? My math lab? That means now I have your final grade and everything on my math lab. Is 40 out of 41. One of them is no points. The orientations. The orientation doesn't have any points, but it's still there. So you have to roll 40, not 41, I think. Oh, 41. Oh, it's 41, right? 41 out of 42. The 42 one is the orientation, but orientation doesn't count, I think. Really? Let me check. But the total points for homework is 420, not 410. Well, let's see, what do I see from my side? Because the due date was last night. Oh. And I'm not doing everyone's. Maria says it's 41 out of 42. So let me check what is happening.
Any chance we could get to that tonight?
It was last night.
The one that's capital, the capital ones.
The
only thing.
Oh, Maria. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, it's 410. So 41 out of 42 is correct. No problem. Total homework is 410. Total quiz is 290. Not bad. He just enjoying himself. Okay, so last class, the last thing we did was section 6.6. And it's about solving quadratic. There are few terms, either you have 2 terms or 3 terms. And when you have 3 terms, you have either direct factoring or AC method to follow. And if you have something that is not factorable, you have to use quadratic formula or complete the square method. Now, today we're going to do chapter 7 and rest. From 7, 2 questions, actually many questions will be from 7. One of them will be multiplication and division. Either they'll give you both of them, multiply and divide, or they'll give you one of them, either multiply or divide. So for multiplication, there are 3 steps: factor, cancel, rewrite. For division, there are 4 steps: you factor, you keep, change, flip, and then cancel, rewrite. So here we have 4 polynomial, 4 different, 3 same type and 1 different. So when you have 3 terms, the first one, 2 numbers multiplied to 24 combined to 10 is positive 4, positive 6. 2 numbers multiplied to 72 combined to 13 is 6 and 7. On the top right, we have 2 terms, either GCF or perfect squares. It's not perfect square because it doesn't have any negative sign, and not 7 is not a perfect number, so it's GCF. You factor out x, you get x plus 7. The denominator, 2 numbers multiplied to 36 combined to 5 is -9, +4. So you factor all of them, and then you cancel whatever you can cancel, one from the top, one from the bottom. So x plus 4 cancel with x plus 4, and then x plus 7 cancel with x plus 7. On the left side, we have both x plus 6 on the top and bottom, so they cancel out. We left with x on the top and x minus 9 on the bottom. So you put them together, and that's the final answer. X over x minus 9. The next one is similar. The only difference is now we have a difference of perfect squares here. So on the left side, we have GCF. On the right side, we have difference of perfect squares. And when you have difference of perfect squares, their factors are the two conjugate pairs. But whatever comes first, you have to write that first. So it's not x plus 4, x minus 4. It's 4 plus x, 4 minus x, because 16 is coming first. So whatever you have first, that number has to be first on your conjugates. So factor 16 minus x squared, you get 4 plus x, 4 minus x. And then two numbers multiplied to 35 combined to 2, 7 and 5. Two numbers multiplied to 15 combined to 8, 5 and 3. And lastly, two numbers multiplied to 28 combined to 3, 7 and 4. So you factor all of them, cancel whatever you can cancel, and then you left to 4 minus x on the top and x plus 3 on the bottom. So you leave them alone. Since we are doing this, let me see, do I have negative anywhere? No. So since we are doing this, let me give you one more example with negative cancellation. I should have put one here. Let's say we have one more question like this. See, you have x squared minus 25 divided by 5 minus x. Okay. It's okay. Let's say I have a multiplication on the next. X minus 3 and then 9 minus x squared. So we have multiplication of two fractions, two rationals. What's the first step? What you're going to do? Factor. So what are the two factors we get from x squared minus 25? X plus 5, x minus 5. And on the denominator, we have x 5 minus x. On the numerator, we have x minus 3. And what two factors we get on the denominator? 3 plus x and 3 minus x. So whatever comes first, that has to be first. Here we have x first, so that's why our conjugate, they have x first. But here we have the number first, so that's why we have the number first. And now it's time to cancel. What can you cancel? So these two, they are completely opposite of one another. Here our x is positive, here our x is negative. Here our 3 is negative, here our 3 is positive. So both of them, they are opposite of one another. So that's why we can cancel, but we left to it a negative one, not a positive one. What else we can cancel? minus x minus 5 and 5 minus x, because they both are completely opposite of one another. On the top, x is positive, on the bottom, x is negative. On the top, 5 is negative, but on the bottom, 5 is positive. So both of them, they have opposite sign. When both of them have opposite sign, you can cancel, and you're left with -1. So what do we have at the end? What is left on the numerator? We have -1 times -1. So if you want me to rewrite to see what is happening, we have -1 twice because it cancels twice. And we have x plus 5 single.
What if there was just one thing?
You keep the negative. And now we see this 2 negative turns into positive. So we end up getting a positive result. X plus 5 over 3 plus x. When you have only one negative, the result will be negative. But when you end up getting 2 negatives, the result is positive. Okay? Any question? No? Now comes the division. And I gave you 3 types of division. Let me make it bigger so that they can see, because my writing is too small. Square minus 25 gives us x plus 5x minus 5. Two numbers multiplied to 6 combined to 1, -3, +2. The division turns into multiplication because we are flipping. So numerator goes to the denominator goes to the numerator. And then you factor. Or you can factor and then you can flip. It's up to you. So on the numerator, 2 terms means GCF or difference of perfect squares. This is not a difference because we don't have any negative sign. So it's obviously GCF. We have x squared in common. So factor x squared, we get x plus 5. Same thing on the denominator, we have a negative, but it's not difference of perfect squares because 3 is not perfect. So again, it's GCF. We factor out x cubed, you're left with x minus 3. And we have to cancel in multiplication only, not in division. So x minus 3 cancel with x minus 3, x plus 5 cancel with x plus 5. And also x squared cancel with x cubed because of the division rule. In division, we subtract the power. Our numerator is 3, denominator is 2, so 3 minus 2 is 1. And this is the one you have. So these two cancelable, you get 1. And then x minus 5 from here, x plus 2 from there. So if you know multiplication in a division, the only difference is you have to teach and flip. The second one is also same. We have 1 GCF and 1 difference of perfect squares. So you pull out x squared, you get x plus 4. For difference of perfect square, we have x plus 8, x minus 8. And the other two, oh, we have one more here. 2 terms means GCF here. So here you can factor out 3x and you get x minus 8. Then the left denominator, 2 numbers multiplied to 32 combined to 4, 8 and 4. So plus 8 minus 4. So you end up getting, this is a multiplication, okay? Not x, it's a multiplication symbol. So x plus 3, x, wait. Oh, x plus 8, x minus 8. So minus 8 cancel here. The plus 8 cancel here. And you have x and x squared. Just like the left one, you have x squared on the top, x on the bottom. So the result is x on the top. So these two cancelable, you get x on the top. Am I confusing you guys? No? So that means you end up getting x on the top and x plus 4. And on the denominator, we have these two, 3 and x minus 4. This should be x squared. So you cancel, and you get x over 3, x plus 4, and x minus 4. X plus 4 and x minus 4 you cannot cancel because not both of them have opposite sign. Only 4 has opposite sign, but x has the same sign, plus plus. So you cannot cancel. You can cancel x minus 4 with 4 minus x because 4, one is positive, one is negative. X is positive here, negative on the bottom. So they both change their sign. If they both change their sign, the answer is -1. But here only 4 change its sign, x did not. So you cannot cancel. Then in the next one, it's one variable division. So you do keep, change, flip, and you see you have x to the 8 and x to the 5. So x to the 8 divided by x to the 5 gives you x cubed on the top. So you have x cubed on the top. Then we have y square times y square on the denominator. So you get y to the 4 on the denominator. And then you have 2 goes 6 3 times. You multiply this 3 with this 3, so you get 9 here. As long as one of them is in the numerator and one is in the denominator, you can always cancel if they are cancelable. We could not cancel y's because they are on the same level. Same level don't get canceled out. Now you see, you cannot cancel them because they're on the same level. It's like if both of you are evil, you cannot harm yourself. But one is evil and one is good, they harm one another. Because of the rules, multiplication rules. In multiplication, what do you do with the powers? Do you add them? Do you subtract them? Do you multiply them? Do you divide them? The 2 plus 2 gives you 4. Exponent rules. In division, you subtract, so you subtracted of the x. But in multiplication, we add, so you added the powers for the y. So one of these from this 6 will be in your exam. Multiplication or division. Huh? 3, I think. One is with rational. One is with whatever I went over so far. So how many what problems I went over so far?
Just one side.
Oh, one is system equation. So one odd problem. And then did you do rational yet? No. So there will be one rational. Rational like this one, and not here. These working together. System of equations and working together. 2 word problems. Okay, now next one, addition subtraction. This will be not multiple choice. So you really have to be very careful with your work. If you get something wrong, the whole thing is 0. You can get partial credit only for a minor mistake. So in order to add or subtract, we have to have the same denominator or both denominator. If we don't have the same, if they are completely different from one another, The LCD is both of them. For example, this is completely different than that. So LCD is both of them. 2x plus 5 and 2x plus 3. That means we want the same denominator under both denominator. So the first one is missing 2x plus 3. So you multiply top and bottom by 2x plus 3. The second denominator is missing 2x plus 5. So you multiply top and bottom by 2x plus 5. Come on. And then you combine like terms. So here it's foiling. So you FOIL them and then you subtract distribution. When you subtract, make sure the sign inside will change. So this negative will turn this middle sign into positive. And when you distribute, if you are like those people who is not good with multiplication, actually this distribution is very easy, right? What do you observe? Conjugates, right? 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3, they're conjugate pairs. So you don't have to do FOIL. You automatically know the answer. What's the answer here? The first one square. So what is 2x whole thing square? 4x square minus 3 square, which is 9. So if you observe conjugates, don't multiply, don't waste your time. Just do the thingy, difference of packet squares. So you have 4x squared minus 9, and you distribute, let me erase all of this. And you distribute the 4, so you get 8x plus 20, but since you're subtracting, so it becomes 8x minus 20. The like terms we have here is minus 9 minus 20, so you get minus 29. And 4x squared minus 8x, you cannot combine them, so you leave them alone. And it's not factorable because 29 has only 2 factors, 1 and 29. None of them will give us 8 if you add or subtract.
The last one, we just distribute the sign, right?
First distribute the number and then distribute the sign. So here you distribute the number. 4 times 2x is 8x, 4 times 5 is 20. And then you bring the parentheses because it is a subtract and quantity. So minus 20. You can do it here. From here to here, you can go directly, or you can break it into 2 pieces. Here, just the numerator and then second the distribution. Distribution of the negative.
And there's only one perfect.
Hmm?
There's only one.
One. Because you have so many other questions to deal with. .51. One of these. Which type? I'm not sure. Usually they give you the in B type. Sometimes they give you the C type. So you should know both of them. A or B most of the time. And sometimes C. So whatever comes sometimes I put them in green ink. So you can see it, they don't always come, they come sometimes. But the black one, they always put them. And they have the same thing as addition subtraction. In order to do anything, you need the same denominator. So instead of getting rid of the denominator, bring everything to one side so that you can have a denominator, simplify the left, and then solve. If you do that, then you are not going to have any extraneous solution. Because when you simplify the left side, the extraneous solution, like the solution doesn't work, automatically get canceled out. So it's a good method. So bring everything to one side. and you look for your LCD. So between x and x squared, your LCD is x squared. So multiply top and bottom by x squared. This already has x squared, so no need to do anything here. Then x. Which method she used? She got rid of the denominator. And use quadratic formula, no problem. But which method I prefer is having the same denominator. So multiply top and bottom by whatever is missing. Because at the end you get quadratic equation. You cannot factor yet. First you have to make it factorable. So from the first step, you have your LCD, you keep your LCD and combine everything. Oh, subtract this. So bring everything to one side. So we get 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 equals 0. Bring everything to one side, every LCD, combine the numerator. And now the numerator is factorable using AC method. Exactly, but different people like different method. So no problem. If you do any factor, it's AC method because your A is equal. Anytime you can see your A, it's AC method. If it's factorable. So the AC method, I'm going to remind you of your shortcut AC method, the weird AC method. AC gives you 2 times -5, which is -10. So you write x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. This is weird AC method, okay? Any factor. Which two numbers multiply to 10 combine to 3?
2x.
5 and 2, and their sign? 5 has to be negative because the middle term is negative. So 3 has to be positive. And then we do something weird. That's why it's called weird AC method. So we put these two. 2x minus 5 and 2x plus 2 equals 0. So you put 2 on both of them, and then one of them will be divisible by 2. So you get 2x minus 5 and x plus 1. Why it doesn't work? Okay. The first you factor like normal factoring, direct factoring, but you have 2x squared. But here we have 1x squared. So that's why you have to put 2 on each factor, but one of them will be factorable, divisible by 2, so it divided by 2.
And 1x squared, which is
X times x is
1x squared below the denominator.
you keep it. So for now you keep it because you have this on the top, but now you cannot cancel anything on the top with the denominator, right? So this time we can get you the denominator, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. So you multiply both sides by x squared, they cancel out. You get simple 2x minus 5 times x plus 1 equals 0. And you get two solutions, 5/2 and -1. If you simplify on the left side, then if you can cancel anything, that will get you the extraneous solution. Otherwise, you have to think about your extraneous solution. What you cannot have, which value you cannot have for x. You have to always keep that in mind.
And this is how the answer is going to we get to try to we don't have the answer. Right?
You don't have to because our denominator is simple, right? What number you cannot have the denominator? What number?
0.
0. Do you have 0 in our solution? So don't worry about that. So we know x cannot be 0 because that makes the denominator 0. That's why you ignore that. If you don't follow this method, if you get rid of the denominator like she did, if you get rid of the denominator at the beginning, then you have to keep that in mind. What you cannot have in your solution. So whatever you have to check, can this be on the denominator? One of them will not be. For example, here, this question. She got rid of the denominator first, no problem. But we know this is factorable, so first step is factor any denominator which is factorable. And then LCD is both x plus 3, x minus 3. So she multiplied everything by the LCD, so there will be no denominator. No problem with that. But then she may forget that there is only one solution. So see, she didn't check her work. Once you get to the denominator, you get a quadratic, 2 terms, so you factor out GCF, and you have two solutions. One is x equals 0, and the other one is x equals 3. And you multiple choice, you'll have both of them, x equals 0, x equals 3. But x equals 3 cannot be solution because of the LCD. LCD is not 0, right? So that means x plus 3 cannot be 0, means x cannot be negative 3. Also, x minus 3 cannot be 0. That tells us x cannot be positive 3. So there are two x values we cannot have in our solution. But look what we got. Come on.
We can also have x equals 0, right?
X equals 0 is possible because
It's possible to do what?
because none of the denominator has x only. It has either x minus 3 or x plus 3. If you had x like the previous one, see here, our denominator was x squared, so x cannot be 0. But in this problem, x can be 0. 0 doesn't make any problem. What makes the problem or what caused the problem is negative 3 or positive 3. But look, one of the solutions they are telling us is positive 3. But it's not possible. This makes the denominator 0. See, we are saying here x cannot be negative 3 or x cannot be positive 3. So the only solution that is allowed to have is x equals 0. That's why when you have a denominator to deal with and you're solving for x, check the denominator if you get to the denominator at the beginning. But if you don't get to the denominator, keep it and simplify everything on one side. Don't worry about that. So one of them will be in the final. Okay, so the downside of the quadratic equation. For the middle problem, when you bring everything to one side, you get the quadratic equation 5x squared minus 4x minus 32. So if you don't use AC method to factor, but go with quadratic formula, look at the problem. At the end, you get square root of 676. Without using calculator, how do you know what's the square root of 676? And if you don't show me any word, but suddenly give me that this answer is 26, what do you expect me to think of? A genius or a cheater? Which one? I hope. But sorry. It's the opposite. So finding a square root is very hard manually if you don't know how to find it. Using a calculator is good, but you cannot use it. So that's why for bigger number, don't even bother. See here our 5 and 33 to give you big number. So when you have big AC, don't bother with the AC quality formula. You'll end up getting 0. Why? Because of this, without any work, you show me this 0. There was actually one student last semester, I think. There was a square root. Square root of 5 digits, okay? 5 digits, and without doing any work, anything, he told me the answer this. So I was like, okay. I used to think it's cheating, okay? I used to think that. But then some counselor told me that don't assume that. Always check your student and then assume whether he cheated or not. So I was like, okay, I will test him. So the next year I went to the class and asked him, what is the square root of this? And he's like, that. It's the correct answer. So I was like, what? How do you know square root of the big number is that? I don't even remember what the big number was. 5-digit square root number. Like, can you believe that? For some reason, he just, like, he knew the answer. So, like, how do you know? I was like, I don't know. I just know the answer is this. But he failed the class. But for some reason, like, I still wonder, like, how did he know that square a 5-digit number is that without doing any calculator?
Was this algebra?
Yeah. Same class, 1023. So don't
Last semester?
then probably 6. 4 or 6 probably. Huh?
Last semester.
Last semester.
Is it?
I'm in morning class. You're in my afternoon class. No, you. Oh yeah, morning class. He was there. Do you remember him?
I think so. I think one of them out. I've never talked to him.
Yeah, he used to sit in the back.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, it was in class exam. So I intentionally gave big numbers so that you show me what you're doing. But he didn't show any work. He's like, boo. It's like, oh, really? Same easy. But for the final exam, don't try it because I'm not going to get you to test your knowledge anymore. So if you do that without showing any work, I'll automatically give you 0. Okay? Don't do that. Yes, you can find it, but show the work. As long as you show me how your thinking process, I'll understand that you tried this way and then you figured that out. But without doing anything, just question and the answer doesn't make sense to me. Okay, what problem? Working together. So mostly they give you working together, but sometimes they give you the both problem. Sometimes. For working together, all you have to do is remember your formula. 1/time for first person or whatever you have. 1/time needed for the second person. 1/, how many people you have, you add all of the time equals 1/. Do you remember? Time together. The time needed if you work together. So together is a single, one side. Everything else, you're adding on the other side. So the first question, one person needs 9 hours, so 1/9. Second person needs 6 hours to the same job, so 1/6. The third person needs 4 hours, so 1/4. So you're adding 1/9, 1/6, 1/4. And all of them together, all of them is divided by together, but you don't know what is together. This is what you're looking for. So it's x. Whatever you don't know, that is x. And now it's easy. You simplify the left using LCD, and then you flip. And always, before your final exam, check your in-class exam, okay? Where did I take off points? So many of you, when you solved it, you saw the choice on the multiple choice and you got the answer, which was wrong. What's the answer here? 19/36. So you have 19 over 36 equals 1 over x. And you saw this on the multiple choice. You're like, oh, I get the answer. You picked it and it's wrong. You have to flip it because you're solving for x. X has to be on the numerator, not on the denominator. So be very careful. And for whatever mistake you made in class, observe that or note that before your final exam. That's why I gave you an exam back, so you can track yourself what mistakes you made. In the next one, we have one custodian, 4 hours, so 1 over 4. When the second one work together, together they need 2 hours. So 1 over 2 on the other side. And you're looking for how long it takes for the second custodian to do the work. So we are missing the work for the second person. They give us the together. See, they need 2 hours together, so 1 over 2. And we have one custodian 4 hours, and you're looking for how long it takes for the second custodian. So second custodian is missing, so 1 over x. And then to make your life easier, bring the numbers together and keep your x, so you subtract 1 over 4. Simplify and then flip. In your example, anytime you have 1 over x, flip it. Your x, when you solve for x, you're looking for x equals what? It means x over 1 equals what? So when you 1 over x, that means you're not done. The next one is the both problem. So for both problem, if they do not give you the what's called speed, you have to find the speed. For example, here they didn't give us speed, but they give us the information to find the speed. It takes 48 miles. It takes 4 hours to cross 48 miles. So speed is distance over time. You're crossing 48 miles in 4 hours. So your speed is 12 miles per hour. And it's 12 miles per hour if you're going with the current. So speed of your boat plus the speed of the current, they both are going toward the same direction. So adding the two speed, the result is 12 miles per hour. But when you're coming back, you're going against the current. So you're subtracting the speed of the current from your speed of the boat. So it's boat minus current. And this time you're traveling the same distance, but 6 hours. So your speed this time is 48 miles over 6 hours, which is 8 miles per hour. So you have two equations. Boat plus current is 12, boat minus current is 8, and you have system of equations, solve for us. So boat plus current is 12 miles per hour. When you're coming back, you're subtracting the current, so it's 8 miles per hour. And whatever they're looking for, here they're looking for current, so you're solving for C, but using elimination, you can solve for B easily. You get 2B equals 20, so B equals 10. If B is 10, if C is 2 to the limit. So the speed of the boat is 10 miles per hour, but speed of the current is 2 miles per hour. What is confusing, Eliza? So did you understand the scenario? You have a boat, you're going somewhere. And when you're going with the current. For example, when you're going up, you're going with if you're going up with an accelerator and you're walking on the accelerator, there are two speeds you have. One is your own speed and one is the speed of the accelerator, right? So you move faster. you go up faster. The same scenario here. When you're going with the current, you're adding the two speed, and your speed is 12 miles per hour. Because you're crossing 48 miles in 4 hours. Now, when you're coming back, it's like accelerator is moving up, but you're coming down. So now you have two opposite speed, right? So you're subtracting the accelerator speed from your speed because they are opposite direction. And speeds you are taking time because you're going against the current, so it takes more time. It takes 6 hours to cross the 48 miles. So your speed is 8 miles per hour. And now you have system of equations. So substitution method, reallocation method. So 48 miles in 4 hours gives us 12 miles per hour. We are crossing same distance but in 6 hours. That gives us 8 miles per hour. And then you're just adding the two equations, so C cancel out, you get 2B equals 20, that means 1B is 10. Which two? Which two? 20. So if we add them, add the two equations. If we add the two equations, what happens to the C's? They cancel out. So how many B's we have? 2.
Is it mostly like similar style or like thinking for us all?
Huh?
Is it similar style of question or?
If they give you the question, mostly they give you this question. The numbers are different. Mostly. So solving for B is easier. That's why I'm solving for B first. When we solve for B, we can see our B is 10. So if B is 10, what is C? 10 minus what is 8? 2. So C is 2. Okay, the next one is complex fraction. And this will be in not multiple choice part. So you have to be careful what you do. You cannot take your word. Non-multiple choice. And I observed you had many methods of doing it when you did it in your exam, but I still think the best method is LCD. Don't break them apart, keep them, but apply the LCD on every numerator. That will get you all the denominators, and you get your solution in one step. So let's do all three together. In the first one, we have the denominator 3, 3x, and 4. So what's the LCD? 12x. 12x. So multiply every numerator by that. Only the numerator. 12x. 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 Why we are doing it? Because our goal is to get rid of all the denominators. So if you multiply by the 12x, it cancels all the denominators. 3 cancel 12, left with 4. 3x cancel the 12x, left with 4. 4 cancel the 12, left with 3. See, no more denominator. So now you have to see what is left. 5 times 12x, 60x, plus 2x times 4x, 8x squared. What do we have here? What and what? 4 times 2, 8, and you're subtracting 1 times 3x. 3x. And that's it. This is your answer. You can factor the numerator, but there is nothing you can cancel the denominator. So you can just leave it alone. Did I make a mistake?
From 3, how do you factor 12 and 12 is 112x and 3.
So look at all the denominators. So our first denominator was 3, then 3x, then 4.
No, when you get to the third step, you get 15 plus 2x.
Why do you see plus? Why do you see 15? Which one you are doing?
The one that
So you multiplied everything by 12x.
no, I didn't see it. Not that.
And I'm showing, don't do individually, just multiply the numerator. You are saying in one sentence, in one line. The other one is not wrong, but see, you're asking me a question because you're not sure. But if you do it this way, you don't have to ask me a question.
But I got everything right except that part.
Which part?
How did you cross the 12?
So here we have 2 divided by 3x.
So I got 15 plus 2x and 3.
Why did you get 15? That's my question. Why did you get 15?
I think it was quite fast.
You can never multiply cross. You can multiply across, not cross. So why did you get 15? Tell me. How did you get 15? There is no 15 I see here. Why did you get 15?
So I simplified 5 plus 2x.
How can you simplify that? Oh, you took LCD of the numerator and denominator separately? Okay, so you have 15 plus 6x divided by 3.
15 plus 2x
Divided by 3.
divided by
And the denominator you have 8 minus 3x
8 minus
divided
3,
by 12x.
12x. Yeah. How did you do?
Keep change flip.
I did it, but can you cross them like this? Because
You can cross cancel, you cannot cross multiply,
you can cross cancel.
but you cannot cross multiply.
Even though there one is x and one is just digits.
Okay, so you have 15 plus 2x over 3, 12x, and then 8 minus 3x. Okay, so 3 goes to 12 4 times. Of course, because you're multiplying. In multiplication, you can cancel. In division, you cannot cancel. And you can cancel because these are only one digit. But you cannot cancel 3 with 15. Because 15 has a relationship with 2x. So in addition and subtraction, you cannot cancel. But in multiplication, so this is 3 and this is 12x, and you're multiplying the two rational, so you can cancel. Eliza, question. You cannot because this 6x has a relationship with the next term. Same thing, 3x has a relationship with this term. When you have a plus and minus relationship, they're very strong. You cannot break them. But you can pull out 4x as a common factor.
I did that. I can probably find that.
You can do that. So in class exam, I said you should, because I gave you some questions where after factoring you could cancel. But on final exam, usually they're not cancelable. So you don't have to factor. So you get 4x and you get 15 plus 2x and denominator 8 minus 3x. So you cannot cancel anything anyway. So you have to. Same thing, the other two. You have between 3 and 6, LCD is 6. Between 6 and x, LCD is 6x. So you're multiplying everything by 6x, 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 6x. And when you're canceling, 6 cancel with 6, x cancel with x, 6 and 3 cancel, left with 2. So cancellation is easy. Hardest part is write down what remains. People make mistake on that. What remains on the numerator? Five and 6x, 30x, on the numerator. 5 times 6x, 30x plus 12. How about the denominator? 2x squared. Because you cancel 3 with 6 and left with 2. Minus 5x. Again, you can factor out the numerator and denominator, but there will be nothing to cancel. In the exam, if you have time, you should factor. In case if something cancelable, in case. But I don't have time, so I'm not canceling anything. I mean, I'm not factoring anything. What's the LCD on the last one? X squared, good. So multiplying x squared, x squared, x squared, x squared. So x squared cancel out. X squared gives you x. So what is left this time? 4x minus 1x squared, 3x squared plus 2. See? It's only one line solution if you multiply by LCD. Multiply. So 3 steps you can say. LCD, multiplying, canceling, and rewrite. 7.7. So do you have everything? Okay. The next is 8.4. We have 2 candidates, either both of them come or only one of them comes. And they both are joint. So you have to remember when you have direct relation, they both, the 2 variables stay on the numerator, but if you have inverse relation, one of them stays on the numerator, one of them stays on the denominator, because they're inverse. And they change with a constant rate k. So here they're saying y varies, means you have to start an equation with y. Y varies means y equals. If they say z varies, means z equals. If they say p varies, it means p equals. Whatever your sentence start with, your left side will have that variable. So y varies means y equals inversely with x squared. So inversely means x squared is given the denominator. And directly with z, so direct means z has to be on the top. So y and z, they have direct relation, so they both will be on the top. But y and x squared, they have inverse relation. So one is on the top, one is on the bottom. And when they change at a constant rate k. So step 1, come up with the equation. Step 2, find out your rate, at what rate they are changing. So you're solving for k. To solve for k, you're going to use the first piece of information. You replace everything x, y, z and get the k alone. So she did that here. y is 5, z is 3, and x is 2. So 2 squared, 4. So 5 equals 3 k over 4. To get the k alone, you need to get rid of the 3. So you need to divide by 3. If you want to get rid of the 4, you need to multiply by 4. So either you can do it in 2 steps or you can do it in 1 step. Let me do it here. So you have 5 equals 3k over 4. You're getting rid of the 3. So multiply by 3, but divide by 4. So you're doing the same thing on this side. Top gets the 4, bottom gets the 3. So you get k equals 20 over 3. And when your rate is a fraction, write down your equation as a fraction. So you have y equals k is the 20 over 3. This is your k. And you have on top z on the bottom. Or in other words, this is same as you have y equals k times z over x squared, right? This is what it means. K z over x squared means k times z over x squared. What is k? It's 20 over 3. And then you have z over x squared. Now the second piece of information they give you to solve for y. So our y is 20 over 3. If z is 2, x is 3. So you have 40 over 27, right? Yep. Panda, confused or what? Okay. Me too. The next one is logic. Depending on your equation, you see which direction you're going. So see, next one starts with z varies. So we have a formula z equals. It's inversely with y, directly with x. Inversely with y means y on the denominator. Directly with x means x on the numerator. And they're changing with some type of constant rate k. Eliza, question? Yeah. And then they want you to see what happens when you want your z to increase. So if you want your z to go up, z and x have direct relation. So if z goes up, x has to go which direction? Up. They have the same direction. And y has inverse direction. So y has to have which direction? Down. That means you want x to increase and y to decrease. The choice is A. In your multiple choice, they'll give you 5 choices. So be very careful which choice you pick. So you're not doing any math here, you're just using logic. Any questions so far? Then we are going to chapter 10. We have multiplication, addition, subtraction, division of radical, and solving radical equation. So in multiplication, you multiply the numbers with the numbers, variable with the variable. So when you multiply 9 and 9, you get 81. And x to the 5, x to the 9, add the powers, x to the function. And she is missing work. So let me show you work. And it won't work. Come on. 14. Don't be late during your exam, okay? Final exam.
What?
Don't be late. If the class before us ends early, then I'll be here around 15 minutes before class. 45, I'll be here. I'll try to be here. So we can have 15 minutes simple review. And then I'll give you 15 minutes simple review. Review. Come on. Okay. So when you have bigger numbers, break them down. So you have cube root of, and it's not okay. Cube root of 81 and cube root of x to the 14. 81 is 9 times 9. Let me refresh. Okay. Let me see. So we have 9 times 9. But you're looking for same number how many times? 3 times. So we need to divide them more. 3, 3, 3, 3.
So,
3, 9, and 9. You have 3, 3, and 1, 3. So you have 3, 3 times.
I don't have to do the whole 81.
Don't multiply 81. So you have 3, 3 times, and a single 3. So if you take the cube root, the 3 and 3 cancel out. You get 3 alone, and then cube root of 3. Now for the variable, you have 2 choices. You either break them down into 2 pieces. One of them is divisible by 3, and one of them is not divisible by 3. So if you divide 14 by 3, how many times 3 goes to 14? 4. It means you have x to the 12 and x squared, right? The highest you can get a number inside 14 that is divisible by 3 is 12. So either you can do this way, or you can simply write you have x to the 4 and inside you have x squared. So 14 is 12 plus 2. 12 is the maximum number that is divisible by 3 inside 14. And that will give you 4 out. So 3 divided by 12 is 4. It's outside. And you cannot divide 3 by 2, so it is 10. And then you have outside, outside, inside, inside. We put them together. 3x to the 4 outside, and then 3 and x squared inside the middle. I would not recommend this because this is lacking some evidence that you did it by yourself, right? So show me the details work. Show me that you know what you are doing. Let's do one more. The next one, 25 and 10. There is no point of multiplying them because you have to end up dividing them anyway. So write 25 times 10 without even multiplying and break them apart. 5, 5, 5, 2. 25 is 5 times 5, 10 is 5 times 2. And you're looking for same number how many times? 3 times. So you already see these 3 times. So you get 5 cube and 2. Since you're dealing with the cube root, so we get 5 single and 2 inside the radical. Now for variable, this time we have 13. Cube root of x to the 13. 13 is 12 and 1. So you have x 12 and x 1 cube root. Now 3 divided by 12 gives you 4 of them. And the next one you cannot do anything, so you leave it alone. So you have 5. I'm not leaving. Why do I have to leave? You have 5. Come on. Okay, I forget about the highlight. You have 5 and x squared. They're outside. So put them together. 5x to the 4. And inside you have 2 and x. So you put them together. Do I have more? The next one is same, but instead of multiplication, they give you everything together. And it's square root instead of cube root. So do the same thing. You simplify each one of them separately. For square root of 48, if you know that 48 is 16 times 3, your life is easy. It's square root of 16 and square root of 3. This is 4 times square root of 3. But if you don't know, then you have to keep dividing them. Like 48 is 6 times 8. But you're looking for same number twice. So you have to divide them more. This is 3 times 2. This is 2 times 4. So you see 2 twice. But 4 is also a perfect square number. So you have 3 single, 2 twice, and a single 4. You take the square root of each one of them. This is not divisible, so you bring it down. Cube root of 3. Let me erase this. From here, the square cancel out, you get 2. And from here, you get 2. All of these are multiplying. So you get 4 and square root of 3. So if you don't know 16 times 3 is 48, that's how you do it. Keep breaking them down to get a perfect square number. And for the variable, it's same thing. X to the 5 means you have x to the 4 and 1. Sorry, x to the 4 and x to the 1. So square root of x to the 4, square root of 1, that gives you x squared and square root of x. 9 is y to the 8 and y to the 1. And you're looking for the biggest number that is divisible by 2. So this gives you y to the 4 and square root of y. Inside 3, we have 2 and 1. So square root of x squared and square root of x. This will give you x square. So not x, sorry, z. My bad. So you have z inside and z outside. It is. This is z squared and z. So this is z and z. And we know 48 is 4 and 3. So you put all the outside together, 4x squared y to the 4z. And then inside square root of 3xyz. That's your final answer. 1. Usually they give 1. I think we have time. We don't have much left, right? Addition, subtraction, I'm not going to do all the questions. I'll just go over one from each section and it will be fine. So the first one, we already have the same radical. So you combine the outside, you get 5 of them. 5 square root of 5. In the second one, we have 7 and 28, so we cannot combine until 28 has a 7. So we can divide 20 by 7 by 4. So we get 2 square root of 7. So we have 4 square root of 7 minus 3 times 2 square root of 7. So we have 4 square root of 7 minus 6 square root of 7. That gives us negative 2 square root of 7. In the next one, we have 3 of them, and none of them are same. But the smallest one is 2. So we want every radical to have 2 inside. So this is 9 times 2. This is 4 times 2. So 9 gives us 3 and 4 gives us 2. So we have 4 times 3 square root of 2, 6 times 2 square root of 2, and you are adding 3 square root of 2. So you get total 12 here, another 12 here, and single this one. 12 cancel out, the answer is this. The next one is same thing. If you don't have the same, oh, she made a mistake. It's not 24, 24, it's 25 and 54. So let's do the last one. Five square root of 24 square root of 24 minus 11 square root of 54. What do you think we have inside both? So we have 4 and 6. Bring down 11, and then 54 is what and what? 9 and 6. 5, 2 square root of 6, 11, 3 square root of 6. So 10 square root of 6 minus 33 square root of 6. The answer is negative 23 square root of 6. Multiplication is same. It just distributes twice. And instead of multiplying the inside, keep it so that you can have square. For example, B. So if multiplication becomes harder for you, you can do this. Take one of them and multiply the entire thing. 4 radical 7 plus 2. And then minus 3, 4 radical 7 plus 2. If you don't know how to do well, use this method. So here you get 20 square root of 7 square. And then the next one plus 10 square root of 7. Now you're subtracting 12 square root of 7. And here subtracting 6. Now because your square and radical at the same time, so the square and square root cancel out, you get 20 times 7, which is 140. And you're subtracting 6 from 140. So you get 134. And here you have like terms. They have the same radical 7. So when you combine their coefficients, what do you get? Negative 2 square root of 7. If foiling is hard, don't foil, distribute. One good thing about the next one is what? What's the next one? The difference of perfect squares. So all you have to do is 2 square square root of 13 square minus 3 square. So you get 4 times 13 minus 9. What is 4 times 13? 52, right? If you don't know, you have to do it manually. Let me check. I just guessed it. 13 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. You get 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1, 5. Yeah, I was right. So you have 52 minus 9. 40. What? 12. 12 minus 9 is 3 and left it 4. So 42. So if you conjugate, you have to distribute. Just square each one of them. And for other, use distribution instead of foiling. Definitely one of them will see. Now radical equation. You have to check radical equation. Always. And you must show your work. If you just get the multiple choice from the choices and then substitute and tell me, oh, this is the answer, you get 0. Because you did not solve for x. First you have to solve for x and then you check your work. So in order to solve, you always want the radical term to be alone. For example, the right side already has a radical alone, we are happy. But the left one, A, doesn't have radical alone, it is a minus x, so you need to get here the minus x first. So you add x and then you square both sides. When you square both sides, the left side, actually, so someone did that. Did she do that? No. So we have 2x minus 1 equals x minus 2. In the next line, I saw a few of you did this. 2x minus 1 equals x minus 2, x minus 2, which is amazing. In this way, you don't have to make, you're not going to make a mistake of distributing the power. So get here the radical, as a result, you multiply the same thing twice. This is the purpose, this is what the square does. When you square both sides, this is what it means. The radical cancel out, so there is no radical, but the right side, the other side, it repeats itself twice. So now you see you're not going to squaring each one, you're just distributing. So you get x squared minus 4x minus plus 4, bring it into one side, solve for x. Mostly it will be factorable. So we actually don't have to use quadratic formula. They're factorable, factor, and then check each factor here, either in the first line or in this line, where you have the radical. Your purpose is to check the radical. So if you replace here, you're just wasting your time. Yet, in order to check, you have to replace in the original one, or at least on the second line where you have the radical. Then imaginary numbers, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Yeah. So from these four, you're going to have multiplication and division. When you multiply, you do the same thing as you did before. It's FOILing. So 6 times 4 plus 7i. You take both of them, multiply the first one, and then 4y, you multiply 4 plus 7i. In this way, you're not going to make a FOILing mistake. So you get 24 plus 42i minus 16i minus 28i squared. These are like terms, so you get positive 12 minus 66, 3 minus 1 is 2, 26i. But what is this? Plus 28. So when you combine these two, you get 8 and 4 gives you 12, 2, 2, 4, 5. 52 plus 26i. All of them are same. These conjugates, you don't have to use FOIL, you can use difference of squares. So square root of 5 squared minus 2 square I squared, which is 4i squared. But this is basically plus 4. So you have 5 plus 4, which is 9. Division, we don't know how to divide. So you multiply by conjugate. So what's the conjugate of this? 3 plus 2i. So you multiply top and bottom by the same conjugate. Don't change their sign. I noticed a few of you in your exam, you change the sign. You put 3 plus 2i here and then 1 plus 6i here. No, you have to multiply by the same conjugate on the numerator and denominator. And then you know what to do. Denominator has conjugate, so it's difference of perfect squares. Numerator is just multiplication. Always denominator. When you rationalize the denominator for I. Mhm. What's the conjugate for the second one? 5 minus 6i, so you have to multiply top and bottom by that. And lastly, 7 plus 4i. And then you do the multiplication and simplify. Oh, these are free response, okay? So be careful. These are not multiple choice. For the reducing the power of I, whatever you prefer, you can have that. But what I prefer is divide the power by 2. What is 22 divided by 2? That means you have I square 11 times. But what is I square? So if you have negative 1 11 times, what do you have? Negative 1. That's the logic behind this. How many I square you have? If you have even many times, it's positive 1. If you have odd many times, it's negative 1. The next one, it's 1 over blah, blah, blah. So let me skip that. C is a distribution. So 3 square and I to the 23 3 square. You get 27 I to the 69. You can 69 is 68 and 1, right? So you can see easily this you are going to have an I result, 68 and I. So the answer will be either positive I or negative I. And now you have to decide in the middle which one you have, positive or negative. So how many I squared you have in 68? What is 68 divided by 2? 34. So you have I squared 34 times. It means you have negative 134 times. So what do you have? Positive. So this is 1, this is 27, and this is I. So what is the answer? 27I. And if you have addition, subtraction, it doesn't matter, the same rule. 29, it means you have I to the 28 and I. 35, it means you have I to the 34 and I. So both of them will have answer I. We have to know which one is positive, which one is negative. Now here, if you divide 28 by 2, come on. So if you divide 28 by 2, what do you have? 14. That means you have negative 1 14 times. What do you get? Positive. And the next one, 34. What is half of 34? 17. So you have negative 1 17 times. What do you have? So you have 1i minus 2i. So how many i's you have? Negative I. You're just saying how many I square you have. So you're dividing by 2. But why do you say 25? Oh, I didn't do it. We did it in class. Let me skip it. 60 and 70, they both are even number. So answer will be 1 or negative 1. What is half of 60? 30. So if you have negative 1 30 times, what's the answer? You have negative 1 30 times. You have positive 1. And now what is half of 70? 35. So if you have negative 1 35 times, you have negative 1. So what's the answer? 1 plus 1? Sure. They're even numbers.
Oh, okay.
Even numbers get 1 or negative 1. Odd numbers get I or negative I. Probably not. Okay, let's do it since you're doing everything else. So it's 1 over I to the 25. So this is 24. And what is that for 24? 12. So 1 over negative 1, 12 times and I. So negative 1, 12 times, how many, what do you have? I. So 1 over I, but you cannot have I on the denominator. So you do I times I. So you get I over I square. In other words, you have negative I. Because I square is negative. Where do you see E? Or the E last one, 2. Chapter 11. If they ask you to find the discriminant, then your discriminant is b square minus 4ac. So you replace a, b, c, and use the 3 rule.
But if it's a single number, does A equal times? Oh, that's.
What do you mean single number? Like this?
Yeah, like whether it's one or whether it's like whether it's one.
Oh, so yeah, here they didn't give the discriminant, you have to find it. So once you find, now the discriminant will tell you how many solutions you have and what type. So here, negative means you have 2 imaginary solutions. That tells us we have no x-intercept because they're imaginary. We cannot see them. So no x-intercept. So something is wrong. What did she do wrong? B square minus 4ac. So 1 square minus 4 times 2 times 2. This is negative.
Like to separate
B square is negative 4 square. 4 times 2. Both of them are negative, really? But I thought I gave 1 positive, 1 negative. B square means 1 square. 4 times 2 times 2. Oh man. Did I give 1 positive, 1 negative? How come I have 2 negative? Okay, so the 3 rules you have to remember is that if the discriminant is a positive number, you get 2 real solutions, so 2 x-intercepts. But if the discriminant is a negative number, you get 2 imaginary solutions. It means you have no x-intercept because they're imaginary. And if the discriminant is 0, you have 1 real solution and you have 1 x-intercept. Just remember that and then choose the correct multiple choice. When you solve, if something is not factorable, use quadratic formula. Now for the fourth degree, stay for 5 more minutes. Okay, it's for your own good. When you solve for x for fourth degree, either it's factorable this way or it's factorable with perfect squares. So if it's factorable this way, you get x squared. So you break down the fourth into 3 and 2, and you break down 36. Which two numbers multiply to 36 combined to 5? Negative 9 and positive 5. But this is more factorable, so you factor more. X plus 3, x 4, x plus 3, x minus 3, and x squared plus 4. You set each of them equals to 0, so you get x equals 3, y. Because you have x squared is -4, take the square root, you end up getting I. For the next one, it's 4th degree, but difference of perfect squares. So you x squared plus 9, x squared minus 9. And then you factor more, x squared minus 9. So you get x plus 3 minus 3. So you get two solutions. Equals 3 and 3, 3 and negative 3. But for x squared plus 9, so when you have x squared plus 9, you get x squared equals negative 9. Take the square root, you get immediate result. X equals plus minus 3i. So if it's perfect number, you get a whole number back. But if it's not a perfect number, like the question you have in the in-class exam, you leave your radical alone with the I and plus minus. For inequality, you have two choices. For example, if you give me this, I'll give you 0. I'm telling you, okay? Either you have to give me the graph and show me where the graph is the result. For example, here, what you're looking for? Less than 0 means what? Positive or negative? Negative. And you have a parabola upward or upside down? Upward. And you have two x-intercept, -5 and +2. So in this parabola, which portion is negative? Means y is negative. Where do you see y is negative? From here to here. So the answer is from -5 to 2. If you do want to use number line, you write them on the number line. Negative infinity, positive infinity. Somewhere you have -5 and 2. Then you pick a number here. Let's say -10. And you replace here -10 plus 5 and -10 minus 2. -10 plus 5, negative. And here you have negative. So you get negative times negative. That will give you positive. But you're not looking for positive, so just cancel out. Between -5 and 2, you have 0, the best number. And you replace here. 0 plus 5, 0 minus 2. This is plus, this is minus. Plus times minus. So you get a minus, and this is what you're looking for. Either the graph or the number line. One of them you have to show me.
The same thing done with the parabola, like multiple, I don't know what it's like multiple multiplication. So
So if you give a question like that or that one.
It depends on their mood. Either they will give you parabola or they will give you rational. Recently they are giving you the parabola recently, but they used to give this one a lot. So one of them. But it doesn't matter what they give you, the result. If you have rational, bring everything to one side. And then the thing we did before, adding rational, subtracting rational, you need the LCD, combine the numerator, and then you set the numerator equals 0, and in the denominator can never be 0. And then you test your number line. Okay? So from here, you get x equals -4, x equals +3, and denominator tells us that x cannot be -3. So you place all of them here, negative into positive infinity. What happened? And then you test one of them, -4, -3, +3. Pick something here, 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 and that, and then do the same thing we did here. But you have to show me work. If you give me this, I'll give you 0. I'm warning you over and over and over, okay? Parabola is fine. For parabola is fine. But this is not a parabola. This is irrational, so you cannot use parabola.
What about
Because
36?
you can use it for different types.
But let's say you have this and you don't have time, only 1 minute. So would you rather do number line or the parabola? The next one, using vertex. So vertex, when you don't see the vertex, you have to find x and y. -b/2a. So here we have -6/2 times -1. You get 3. And what's the y? Mistake.
1.
You have to replace the x value into the function and figure out what's the y.
Oh.
So it's -3 squared plus 6 times 3. -9 plus 18, 9.
Plug it in, figure out the block.
For x-intercept, you set the y equals 0, factor solve. For y-intercept, x is 0, so y is 0. Let me give you another one. Let's see here y equals x squared minus 2. Now, what's the vertex here? -b/2a. So what over what?
Wait,
What is your b here? Really? Really? What's the format of your equation? Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, right? So in this equation, what is your b? Really? Then what is your c? Good. You don't have a b. B is 0. So they actually give this type of question. I forgot to put in the exam. Why you don't have a b?
So what? So -2 what? Like what's your?
So what is it? -2 is what? If you compare this, y equals x squared minus 2. If you compare these two, what is your a? 1. What is your b? 0. And what is your c? See? So don't get tricked by this. They actually trick you. So you have -b means 0/2 times 1. But what is 0 divided by any number? 0. Then what's the y value here? If you substitute -2. So it's 0, -2. Okay. So it's an upward parabola 2 units up here. So to find the vertex, memorize the formula. To find the y value in the vertex, replace. Now the last thing is this. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b doesn't matter, but your c has to be assigned the longest side. So same thing, x plus 2 squared plus 3 squared and 2x plus 1 squared. So you have to have your c on one side and then bring everything to one side, solve for x, and check here and here. The two solutions you get, do they make any of the triangles 0 or negative? then it doesn't exist. You omit those solution. You take only the whatever mix. It's real. Whatever, usually when you even if you have a zero, it still makes sense because does it? Yeah. Even if you have a zero, look, when you access zero, this is 0 plus 1, 1 makes sense. This is 0 plus 2, 2. That doesn't make sense because 1 has to be bigger than 2. No, 0 doesn't make sense, right?
It should be 0 or constant.
And then you check and see does it make sense. So replace into the triangle, not in the equation, in the triangle, in the length, to see if it makes, like, does it make sense or it doesn't make sense. Check, okay? Just because you see something on the solution, on the choices, it doesn't mean they're correct. I'll try to post the solution for exam 4, exam 5. So if you need to see the solution, check online, and then I'll try to post this one also so you can study. Okay? And whatever you need help with, tomorrow, ask your PLC leader. Good luck and study smart.
Multiple choice here.
Not everything multiple choice. There will be 6 non-multiple choice questions.
6 multiple choice.
6 non-multiple choice questions.
Okay.